Hello, fellow stroke survivors. My name is Dana, and I felt guided, I suppose, led to make this video just to offer a word of encouragement to other survivors that may have recently experienced a stroke. If you've just gone through this is a tough place to be. I know it's certainly been one of the toughest things I personally have had to deal with. But I do want to offer you this message of hope and encouragement to let you know that what you've just been through is not the end. Has it been rough? Absolutely, yes. Does it feel like life as you know it is possibly over? Possible. But it could also mean that there's an opportunity here for a new version of yourself to emerge in terms of a rebirth. Now, it might take you a while to get to that point where you begin to see it that way, but I encourage you to try to see it as an opportunity to reset. It's not the ending, it's not a full stop, it's a comma. So please take hope and encouragement in that. Also wanted to share with you something that I've been struggling to get my head around ever since I got sick was the sequence of events that led up to it. So that morning, got up as I would normally do, had my coffee, did my workout, everything was fine to a point. The only thing I would say I noticed that was different was that I had a searing headache, one that I'd never had before. Took a few painkillers in the hope that it would dissipate. Got partway through the morning, it didn't seem like it was going to quit. So meanwhile, I'm working from home, doing my sales job, and I'm conscious at one point that the customer I'm speaking to begins to say to me, "I'm really sorry, I cannot understand you." And I'm thinking, what do you mean you can't understand me? They repeat again, "I'm really sorry, ma'am, I cannot understand you. You're not making any sense." At that point, I'm trying to slow myself down because in my head, I'm thinking, of course I make perfect sense. I'm not the one with the problem. And I try to restate it again, not realizing at the time that I was having a bleed on the brain. But eventually after a while, I started to hear that what was coming out of my mouth wasn't coherent and it sounded like gobbledygook. So as the good Lord above would have it, in the meantime, unbeknownst to myself while I'm working out the basement, my husband then has been, you could say guided, led, to order a huge pack of dog food that we didn't necessarily need, but felt that we decided to go ahead and order it anyway. Now this huge packet of dog food, and the significance of it will make sense to you shortly, arrived way earlier than expected. So it was supposed to say turn up at the weekend, it turned up on the same day, 2 days early. Now the significance of that was that it arrived in a huge box that was delivered to the patio. So my husband then said, "Well, I can't leave that on out there, I'm going to take it inside and take it down to the basement later." He, in the meantime, has no awareness of what's going on with me down below in the basement. So he takes the box inside, puts it at the doorway at the top of the basement stairs, not realizing the serious situation I'm in down below. Then he says to himself, "Well, I'll take it down there later at the end of the day." But then he says somehow then his instincts then tell him to take it downstairs then. Now, some people would hear that and think, "Oh, well, that's just a coincidence." Not for me. That's a God incidence. There was divine intervention on that day as to why I'm still here now, able to offer this message of hope and encouragement today. So he decides against himself to take this bag of dog food downstairs. Meanwhile, the moment he comes downstairs is the very moment when the stroke is occurring. And at that point, I'm hearing myself speak this gobbledygook. Now, thankfully, because of videos he's seen in the past, public education videos, he recognizes that my arms are drooping. Apparently, I had drool on the side of my mouth. And I just remember him saying at the point, "Donna, you're not well, you need to log off." Now, me being me, I'm trying to argue with him to say, "Well, what are you talking about? Of course I'm fine." But he could see differently. Now, thankfully, he had the sense to call the emergency services, who showed up right away, which I'm extremely grateful for. Before I know it, I'm being whisked off to hospital. And I can hear all the sounds going on around me, and I keep hearing them ask me who's the president and all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, what's the matter with everybody? Has everybody suddenly lost their mind? Of course I know the president is. They're asking me when my date of birth, what time did I start to feel funny. So I feel like I'm repeating the same information over and over again. not realizing that they're trying to obviously do their assessments to see whether or not it's safe for me to give me the drug which controls the bleeding. So by and by, they do what they need to do, and I wake up the next morning not realizing that I'm connected up to all these different machinery at the side of me, but with the realization that I couldn't move my left side. So from there ensues an intense, very intense program of rehabilitation. I would say in all, I probably spent about a week in ICU, followed by another 3 weeks in a specialist rehabilitation center. I'm so thankful and grateful to the medical team and all that were involved in saving my life and helping me to get from the point of being in a wheelchair to getting back to walking, to the point where I could slowly but surely regain my independence, to the point where I'm able to get in my car, drive down to this park and make this video. So my message today to you is stay hopeful, stay encouraged. It's not the end, it will get better. And that's it for now for this video. See you on the next one. Bye.